Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jackie Ochoa.
And I'm Tim Callahan. A pair of police chases turned into deadly crashes. Early this morning, a man killed in a chase in central Bakersfield. Police were following a stolen construction vehicle, and as they closed in on Golden State Avenue and Q Street, that chase was called off by police supervisors. That's when the driver ran a red light at that intersection and was hit by two oncoming semi-trucks. That driver died at the scene. And late Friday night in southwest Bakersfield, the passengers killed in this wreck at Ming Avenue and New Stein Road. Alexander Barajas died at that scene. Police say Nigel Nieto didn't stop when police tried to pull him over, kicking off that chase. Nieto ran a red light, slamming into two other cars. Police say Nieto was under the influence of both drugs and alcohol when he crashed. He's now facing multiple charges, including murder, and is expected in court tomorrow. And after those two deadly pursuits, 23 ABC's Jessica Harrington asked the Bakersfield Police Department how their officers decide whether or not to pursue a suspect. Jessica.
Well, Tim, BPD officials say there are many factors that come into play when a chase starts. Everything from the amount of traffic to the time of day to how many people are out and about. But they say ultimately it comes down to the risk versus the reward. So pause it there. So what's that?
Right. So they're giving direction, they're giving description, location of the pursuit, which direction it's heading.
Sergeant Gary Carresco with the Bakersfield Police Department takes 23 ABC step by step through the radio traffic of the deadly pursuits from over the weekend.
So basically the officer's saying that the person crashed.
He says every pursuit is unique. Friday night's pursuit in southwest Bakersfield lasted less than a minute, and the driver only made it half a mile away before running a red light and crashing. And this morning, the pursuit lasted less than 2 minutes before a supervisor called it off. And it was just seconds later that the driver ran a red light and was hit by two semi-trucks.
Unfortunately, both of those ended tragically in death. That's the last thing that we ever want.
Officials say there are a wide range of factors that go into whether or not the pursuit continues or gets called off.
Things like roadway conditions, traffic, speeds of the pursuit, whether or not, they're in an area around a school or something and there's kids getting out.
He says if officers are chasing someone for a minor infraction, they'll most likely discontinue the pursuit. But if, for instance, it's a murderer on the run, they'll do whatever they can to catch them.
We have an obligation to catch people doing wrong things, doing bad things, but at the same time, we're not going to risk the lives of any innocent civilians or officers.
Officers can call off the pursuit at any time, and if they don't, supervisors who listen in can step in and call it off if they think it's too dangerous.
When you're thinking about the risk versus the reward and the liability for not only the organization but the city as well, it's a very easy decision to call them off.
In both incidents, other innocent drivers were injured by those drivers who decided to flee, and BPD says that's exactly why they try to avoid pursuits altogether. Live in central Bakersfield, Jessica Harrington, 23 ABC.